DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, I hope you're all well. And it is Monday morning. And on Mondays, you know the brief, I usually do a few tags. And today will be no exception. I'm out in the garden getting ready to have the kids over because today is Whit Monday. For those of you who don't know what that is, it is the Monday following Pentecost Sunday, and it's a day off here in Switzerland, so the grandkids are coming over. So let's just start with those tags before they run over me and I won't be able to do anything. So we'll start as usual by Jasmine's tag. Hi there, Jasmine. I hope that you are doing well, and let's get into those 5 questions. Question 1. Have you ever got lost while traveling? A few times. Usually, it's happened. Let me see now. Well, sometimes on the side roads when I was younger and had had our first car and would be on side roads and wouldn't really know where I was. But you know, in those days we didn't have GPS, but we did have maps. So it was a bit the same answer as Jasmine, is that I drove until I found my way. There was another time that was in England. I was with my eldest son, and we were going from Heathrow towards Oxford, but I hired a car, and we took the wrong way on the motorway, and finally, using the Ordnance Survey map, my son was actually, I was very proud of him. He directed me, and I was driving, and you know, it's quite a challenge. First off, you're leaving Heathrow. This is not a small airport. We'd hired a car, and you're driving on the other side of the road to us, what I'm used to. I had driven in England before, but you know, every time you go back it's something. And it was my son's first time, and we managed to, with the Ordnance Survey, go through the roads and so on, and he brought me back, and it was good. It was good, yeah. And probably the time that I got lost that scared me the most, but it wasn't really, well, it was geocaching, and I was in Holland, and my GPS went out. Actually, my phone. Indirectly, it was my GPS as well. My phone battery died, and I didn't know where I was. I was in the woods somewhere. And if you've ever traveled in the woods, using a GPS or something, you realize that you got to be careful when you trust the GPS, especially if you're walking. Because if you're walking without it, you're looking where you are. But with the GPS, you just kind of follow it. But yeah, finally I did have, I had a second battery, a battery charger basically, which I plugged the phone in and managed to get the GPS back. And yes, well, I'm here, so yeah. Okay, that's question 1. Question 2, what defines happiness in your life? Well, family, faith, friends. Oh, 3 F's. Okay. Anything else I can throw in an F with? Food. Yeah, I actually, just like I am right now, peace of mind. I guess that would all define happiness. You know, sometimes I can remember situations where I was after a big meeting in Ireland. Yeah, as you've noticed, I often go back to Ireland for these type of things. But I was back in Ireland after a big meeting. I went into one of my favorite pubs, got a pint, sat down, pulled out my Kindle, and started reading and just enjoyed the atmosphere. And that was, that's happened many times, but one of those times was I was in a pub in Cork, and I was in a really nice, comfortable chair. There was a fire, and in Ireland, it's torf and so on, and it was, that was happiness. It really was. Yeah. Okay, question 3. How do you stay true to yourself? Keep grounded, I guess. Keep grounded in my beliefs. Keep grounded in my faith. Go back regularly to the roots of those. I stay true to myself when I stay true to myself when I go wrong, because when I go wrong, I know that I've gone wrong, so I know that I have to go back, and it helps me to go back. And like I say, if you're grounded and if you've got good roots, those roots will hold you. And yeah, that would be a vlog on its own, how to get those roots. But if you've got those roots, and those roots can be friends as well, can be family, can be faith, like I say. Okay, that's question 3. Hey, we're going quickly, aren't we? Question 4. Choose your own nickname. And why that name? Well, that's a good one. Well, I can't choose the biggest dork on YouTube. That one is being taken, and no one would ever dare take that one. So let me see. I think actually my nickname would probably be Mr. Hat, or the Hat Man, because actually people do call me that often. Where I used to work, in winters I would usually more often wear a cap. In summer it would be, well, my hats, fedoras and different types. And each hat has a story, each cap has a story. This one here was bought in Abidjan in the Ivory Coast in a market. And I didn't have which hat did I have? I had one of my Canadian hats, but it was a little bit too warm, and I wanted something from over there. And actually I had problems, and finally found this one. And this hat has been into the Minister of Education's office in the Ivory Coast. It was a lot nicer than it is now, but and it's been all over Africa, and it's been in a lot of places. So yeah, Mr. Hat. My grandkids sometimes call me Grandpa Chapeau, which basically just means Grandpa Hat. But that, would not probably be a good nickname. So Mr. Hat, Hat Man, I guess that would be it. Yeah, I guess that's a pretty good nickname. Oh, and actually, sometimes in stores, I'm stopped by people and they say, I really love your hat. I really love that cap of yours. And one person once said, how many do you have? Well, actually, wasn't that a question in a tag once? It was, yeah. Okay, let me see. Question 5 and last. Oh, the last time you pampered yourself. Well, first off, what is pampering oneself? I pamper myself when like I say, when I'm sitting down in a pub and having a beer and reading on my Kindle and people watching. That's pampering myself. But I'm really not a person for pampering in the sense of, I don't know, massage and stuff like that. Oh, there was once, yeah. Mrs. DC and I went to a place in the mountains, in the Alps, and it was it was called the Irish Roman Bath House. And it was supposed to be that you were a couple, and you would go from stages, one to different stages, with saunas and Turkish baths and massages and creams and stuff like that. But it was a couple thing. And why it was actually rather special, you were allowed basically to only have a towel. Uh, and usually you were supposed to be just one couple going at a time, and it was staged in a way, but they had an overload of people. So we were actually three couples together. Um, I mean, you don't really mind being pampered naked with your significant other, but all of a sudden there's all these other ones with you. It was an interesting experience. And I guess that's probably the only time I was pampered, probably in the classical sense that is kind of mentioned here. Yeah. Okay, that's it. BDC signing off. Take care, everybody. And thank you, Jasmine, for some fun questions. Take care. Bye-bye.